My life is far from normal. I've slept in homes that weren't mine, surrounded by dogs and cats that learned to trust me over time. And I've learned what every bark and every meow consists of. Each pet requires a different version of me. House sitting taught me patience, discipline, and how to show up fully, even when no one's watching. If you're curious about being a house sitter, I'm here to show you what it's really like to be a pet caregiver. Not just a pet sitter, but someone that takes care of pets full time. That means sometimes figuring out if I should choose myself or choose my job, and making hard decisions that most people wouldn't have to make because truthfully, everyone has a choice, even me. But for the past 4, almost 5 years, I've been dedicating my life to pets and taking care of my community in a different way. I'm Justine, the paw sitter, and today we're uncovering what house sitting really consists of.
House sitting is definitely a different concept. So to understand it is to do your research. Would you rather board your dog at someone's house, pay a boarding facility to board your dog, or pay a pet sitter to come and house sit your dog? First things first, I got these eye patches. These are from a company called Spa Life, and they're puppy eye patches. And I just thought it would be cute to use in this video while I get ready for bed and talk to you guys about house sitting. Oh my god, these are so cute. They're like little wiener dogs. Look. Oh my god, so cute. Is it the wrong way? I think it's the wrong way. Oh my god, it's so cute. Let me move it up a little bit to get the full effect. Oh my god, so cute. How cute is that? So I'm gonna let my under eye area marinate with these patches. Oh my god, I can't get over how cute these are. But let's get into this video because there's a lot to talk about. Okay, so I just want to start by talking about how I got into house sitting. So there's a few apps that you can use to become a house sitter. You can use care.com, you can use Rover, which is one of the first apps that I started using. I kind of sort of dabbled in care.com, but I didn't really like the format of the website, nor did I enjoy the quality of experiences that I was getting. Let's just say that, to say the least. And then there's also Trusted House Sitters. I first started off on Rover, and I use Rover as like a directory so people can come across me and find my services. Since house sitting is such a new concept, I think a lot of people usually opt for boarding, or they'll just have someone come and walk their dog multiple times a day. But there's some people that they'd rather their dogs be home. They don't want to have to risk putting them in a new environment. It could change their behavior. It could change how they react to the sitter. So sometimes it is best to house sit certain dogs, especially older dogs. I find that my clients are more protective over their older dogs, which makes sense. So I think that's one of the reasons why people would opt for house sitting versus boarding at someone's house. When you're boarding your dog, if it's 12 o'clock at night and your dog needs to pee, your sitter will take the dog out. Your sitter is house sitting at your house and your dog needs to pee at 1 a.m., they're taking them out. But at a boarding facility, you don't really have that flexibility. If you do have that as an amenity, you will have to pay a lot extra per night. And considering if you do have multiple dogs, you're gonna have to double up on that. So yeah, it is quite pricey. So I'm gonna be looking up and down because I'm doing my makeup throughout this video, but just listen so that way you can intake the information because this is really good stuff. I'm Justine, I'm a pet sitter. I'm based in Jersey. There's a lot of different experiences that I experienced that a lot of people may not experience in their hometown because truthfully, Jersey is New York Junior. Okay, so there's a different demo that lives up here in comparison to the South. And I can say that openly because I lived in the South. I lived in Houston for 4 years. I moved here in April. I'm originally from the Bronx though, so I'm a native. I'm just figuring things out. When I first started pet sitting, I was only doing walks, okay? I wasn't out here getting booked like that. I worked a regular job up until it was like conflicting with my clients. And one thing about me, I do not play when it comes to serving the community, doing what I need to do, and also living up to my name. I am the paw sitter. So I like to provide a positive experience. Exactly. Now you're catching on. I ended up quitting my job because I was getting so many bookings, praise God. And, I think a lot of people wouldn't do that. Let me just say that. A lot of bookings is relative because for some people, they need to be making $2,500 a week to feel like, okay, this is enough to quit my job. But my job was even giving me hours. So one way or another, I was going to leave. There was no way I was going to stay there. I've been able to accumulate over 100 clients in both Houston and in Jersey, all by just being available. And when I first got my house sitting request, it was from someone in Houston. So I actually first started house sitting in Houston, which is really cool because Houston is known for real estate. So a lot of people down there have houses. And that means that most of the time they're going to have dogs. They may have one, they may have two, but they have dogs. So I was able to build clientele with a lot of people because they needed help. And yeah, that's kind of the whole point, right? Is to help other people. So I was just walking dogs for literally like a year and a half straight. And I started like seeing like there were other options like boarding, which is pretty much a dog sleeping over your house and you're taking care of them for 24 hours versus walking them for 20 minutes. They have drop-ins, which is when you drop in on the dog in the house for 20, 30, 45 minutes, just depending on what they need. You may end up clearing out the water, changing the litter, giving them snacks, playing with them, taking them for a walk. It really does vary on the dog, and it really does vary on the cat. It really just depends on what they truly need. But you could be doing anything within that time frame for a drop-in, but you're pretty much dropping in on them in home. Then we have our classic walks. Everybody knows what a dog walk is. We have boarding, and then we have house sitting. So house sitting is a newer concept to a lot of people, even myself. I got my first client in Houston, and it was nice because there were two older dogs. So they weren't reactive in any way. Like, they were super sweet. And I feel like that's like the ideal client for me. Older dogs, calm dogs, the little cute, small little dogs I like them. I don't have anything against them, but they bark a lot. So you never really know if they're barking because they're in danger or they're barking just to bark. That's just my humble opinion. She had two older dogs, which was really nice. It was a calming experience. It still felt like work because I had to feed them twice a day. And then also, if you guys aren't aware, I do still take on other clients in between for walks and drop-ins. You get the point. Because of the fact that I provide multiple services, you do have to decipher pricing, which is very important. I think one of the reasons why a lot of people don't book for house sitting is because of the price. The price is usually significantly higher than booking someone to come and checking on your dog for 20 minutes. When you really think about it, if you're paying someone $20 an hour and they're at your house for borderline 24 hours, you do the math. I won't. I won't be doing the math because that's crazy. Be able to justify the time that is put into the service, which is being at your house, being security, taking care of your pet, retrieving your mail, taking out your garbage. Okay? And then if you want to throw in as a sitter, washing clothes and like being like a house cleaner as well, you may make more money because of that, because you're helping someone live, especially someone that doesn't have the time to do these mundane things. So it really just depends on what you're willing to offer, whether it's more time or more time. People need your time in exchange for money. So that's the whole point. So yeah, the cost can vary between 80 and it could be lower. It just depends on the sitter. But what I've seen, it can vary between $80 and $150. Now, if you are on a budget and you're traveling somewhere, you can also, and this is for the pet parents, you can also sign up for trusted pet sitters. But I personally, and this is just me, I signed up for the app and I would like to try it out when I'm traveling, but I would still pay people to come and take care of my dog. Like, even though the website doesn't allow you to pay people, I think you should definitely still pay people because they're in your house. Like, they're taking care of your stuff. Like, they're doing something very kind. So to not pay them just feels like, I don't know, it just doesn't sit right. But like I said, I will be trying it out because I do like to travel and I do want to save some money. So you do save some money while traveling because you're pretty much allowing someone to stay in your house for free, but they'll watch your dog. So it's like if they're going to another state or another country to watch your dog, they don't have to pay for a hotel. So the website does work out in the long run, but in my head, I'm like, that's a lot. A lot of people always are wondering, like, how do you find clients? I personally do not find clients. I allow clients to see me. Let me say that. I don't find clients. I allow my clients to see me. I'm very transparent about who I am. And I think I'm a good person. I'm very transparent. I do not dedicate myself to one thing. I try to help as many people as I can, especially if it doesn't conflict with the help that I'm providing for you. Does that make sense? So, like I said earlier, I take on multiple clients in a day. And I also work every day unless I'm on vacation. I don't have like designated days off where it's like every Sunday and Monday I don't work. I work every Sunday and Monday unless I'm on vacation. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things where it's like because of the fact that I don't work a typical 10-hour shift, 12-hour shift, talking to multiple coworkers, talking to multiple managers, I really do enjoy my job. Like, I really do love my job. Like, the little elements of communication that's required of me doesn't really take much out of me, if that makes sense. I think when you're working in person and you have all of these different energies of people that's coming in, whether it's customers or your coworkers, it's a lot. Dealing with the animals are very simple and it makes sense in my head. But I also have to deal with clients, so it is twofold. Anywho, I keep getting distracted. So a lot of my friends ask me if I ever feel uncomfortable in someone's home as a pet sitter that's house sitting. I always think about it as if the parent is uncomfortable, I'm most likely uncomfortable because I feel like it's your house. So I want to be reassured, especially as a woman being in someone's house. It's very important for me to be safe. And I think that's very important to emphasize. Like, I even had a client that she was doing renovations on her house, and there were some guys coming into the house, and I told her I don't really feel comfortable with that. Like, can they come back when you get back? Because, like, I don't know them. I don't. So, yeah. And you have all right to say these things because you're staying in someone's house. It's not like Airbnb, well, Airbnb is equivalent, but it's not like a hotel or you're going to work where there's multiple people around to defend or, just be in your presence. Like, you're by yourself in a big old house or a big old apartment with someone's dog. So your safety is important. On the other hand, the pet owner's safety is very important as far as their home being safe and you're not putting them in uncompromising situations when it comes to things being missing and stuff like that. So everyone has to build trust in this process. You really do have to build trust because there's a lot of things that's going on. So you do have to be a little skeptical. I'm just saying. But I do think it's important to vet people out, ask a lot of questions on both ends. Never be afraid to ask questions. Okay, let's move on. Like I said earlier, the two apps that I use are Rover and now Trusted House Sitters. And I haven't really gotten into Trusted House Sitters yet. Give me about 6 months and I'll circle back around. Maybe 12. It might take a little while to get into that. But as far as my experience with Rover, if you're interested in being a pet sitter and maybe eventually you want to get into house sitting, you can definitely click the link in my bio to sign up because, yeah. I think you should sign up. Be sure to click the links down below. That way you can sign up for either Rover or Trusted House Sitter. and you be able to save a little money with signing up for trusted house sitter, because it is kind of expensive, to be honest. Yeah. So once you got your client, you're booked, you're ready. Okay. First thing you have to do, think about the little things that you're gonna bring. For me, I always forget something. I either forget my toothpaste or my soap. I always forget something. Usually they'll have soap and stuff like that, but you do want to bring your own stuff. So you have to bring soap, lotion, deodorant, facial wash. Pretty much bring your whole skincare routine. Then you have to bring clothes. If you're in colder regions, you have to bring layers so that way you're comfortable. You have to bring pajamas. You have to bring multiple socks and underwear, things like that. Multiple shoes, possibly. You really just never know. Then you have to bring a bag of food so that way you can cook or eat or snack, because you don't want to spend the money that you just made from a client on ordering out. You want to save as much money as possible. Girl math. It's a lot. It's definitely not the easiest thing to navigate, but once you get the hang of it, you'll be great. I promise. Once you have your bag packed, make sure you go do a meet and greet with these people and don't just go and sleep at their house. Make sure you figure out how to get into their house, how to lock their house. Wait, let me see what time it is. I do have to put the alarm system on. See, you gotta set the alarm system, arm the alarm system, okay? You gotta make sure the dogs get their last walking for the night, because you're not going outside at 12 a.m. if you don't need to. You're gonna do that early, before 8 p.m. Okay, before the night is over. Make sure you get the emergency contacts, the vet information, the medicine information, the food information, how many scoops, how much water, do they like ice in the water? Things like that. How many treats do they eat throughout the day? Things like that. So as a pet sitter, it's not just a little cute job, it's a very important job. It's a very mature job. The reason why people would possibly opt for house sitting over boarding the dog is because the dog suffers from anxiety, especially separation anxiety with the parent not being there, but also being in a new environment could be very overwhelming. So a lot of people would prefer to have their dog house sat because of that. And if you ever dreamed of being a security guard, this is also the job for you. Because you will feel like it. You definitely feel real. But it's fun. It's fun. You know, usually the parents are really nice. They'll go get food and snacks for you so that way you're comfortable. I wouldn't bring people over. Little things like that you just don't do. Definitely something to adjust to. I would say if I have a booking that's more than 5 days, I'm literally figuring out, okay, what do I need to bring? I have my camera, my coloring book, my scrapbook, my crochet needle, my yarn, my book, my Polaroid. Okay, we're getting creative. We got the iPad. Okay, we got the vape. Okay, maybe not the vape. We got the iPad, the journal. So there's things that are being done within the process. You're not just sitting around just watching the dog for ample hours. Yeah, let me know your thoughts down below. I discussed a lot of different things today, and hopefully it's making sense on your end, but house sitting is definitely a different concept. So to understand it is to do your research, check out different Reddit threads about people that have done it in the past, so that way you can get a grasp on if it's actually necessary to invest in getting a pet sitter. But also, you do need a pet sitter, okay? Don't avoid it. But if you can get a family member or a friend to take care of your pet, you can also have that as an option. But I do recommend for people to book pet sitters if you are traveling for more than a day. If it's a cat, I understand if you're traveling for a weekend, but man, that litter is going to be crazy when you get back. If you know, you know. Anyways, y'all, be sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok. Bye.